Hello and welcome to the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner. On our next time cue, it'll be 2 minutes until... Mark, 2 minutes till airtime on the Liberty Flame Sports Network. At our next time cue, it'll be 1 minute until airtime on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner. Mark, 1 minute till airtime on the Liberty Flame Sports Network. At our next time cue, it'll be 30 seconds until airtime. Mark, 30 seconds until airtime on the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner. On my next mark, it'll be our final time cue at 15 seconds. Mark, 15 seconds until airtime on the Liberty Flame Sports Network. Have fun.
The following is a presentation of the Liberty Flame Sports Network from Van Wagner. Live from Mellow Mushroom in the Cornerstone District in Lynchburg, Virginia, the Liberty Flames football show is on the air. Your chance to hear from Liberty head football coach Jamey Chadwell comes your way on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty football show is presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty football show is also brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Carter Bank. Life lived full. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices. Nobody. Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. And by the United States Space Force. Have a question or comment for one of our guests? Email lfsn@liberty.edu or post a message at LFSN Radio on X, formerly known as Twitter.
Liberty down 4. Vasco gets the snap. Hands off to Jenkins. Sweeping left to the corner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Light him up. Touchdown, Liberty. 36 seconds left. And the Flames surge in front.
Now let's talk Liberty Flames football. Here's your host, Nick Pierce.
Welcome. It is the Liberty Flames football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. I'm Nick Pierce filling in for Alan York tonight. He is with the Liberty men's basketball team down in Orlando. They are competing in a MTE down there. They got one more game tomorrow before making the trek back to Lynchburg. But tonight we're talking Flames football on a Tuesday night here at Mellow Mushroom in the Cornerstone District in Lynchburg. Glad to have you along. If it's on the Liberty Flames mobile app or if it's on our Facebook or YouTube pages, however you're watching, listening along tonight, we're glad to have you. Or maybe you're here in person. Glad to have you here tonight as well. For the next hour, we'll walk you up to I'll walk you through all the game day storylines. Liberty and Kennesaw State coming up here this Saturday, 3:30 in Lynchburg. It's Senior Day. 27 seniors will be recognized. Final game of the year for the Flames. And we'll talk to a couple of those seniors tonight. Jacob Jenkins, Flames tight end, and also safety Corey Jones are here with us as well. But first, we welcome in the head football coach, Jamey Chadwell, here with us tonight. Coach, thanks for coming out here. It's good to see you tonight. One last ride here on one of these things, huh?
Yeah, it's great seeing you as well. You're much better looking than our other host by far.
Well, you know,
and
I put on a little makeup.
You try to be modest, right? But no, it's crazy that the end of the season's here. You know, when we first started back in end of August there. So it's been a challenging year, no doubt.
It has, but still, I know that there's some objectives to play for here this Saturday that we're going to talk about in just a moment. Trying to keep Kennesaw State out of a CUSA title game potentially. 4-7 this year, coming off a 34-28 overtime loss at Louisiana Tech. That's back-to-back weeks in overtime now. First time that's happened for the Flames since 2014. Before we get into the football particulars, though, it is Thanksgiving week. It's feast week, and something I thought of actually just on the way in here that I was going to start with. What's something you're thankful for this week?
I think just really, I guess, the relationships you have among the team and the coaches. You get a chance. We spend so much time with the players, and you get a chance to get to know them in the good and the bad, and just the opportunity you have to build those relationships. I think you're always thankful for because it's something that you don't take for granted. You hope that what you do on a daily basis, you have a chance to impact the guys on your team. So I'm thankful for those relationships that we've been able to build.
I read something from, I forget what coach it was now, it's a Division I coach, and was, I think, back towards the start of the year. Fans see the results, media, same thing. We see the results, we see the games, but what you don't see is, and he pointed this out, is the phone call at 3 a.m. when so-and-so's broke down somewhere, or, I've got to go home this weekend, coach, my dad's in the hospital, and all. Those are the little things that you're talking about, I think, that kind of weave you and a team and the culture together, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things, challenges that different, coaches go through, players go through. We've had several off-the-field things that a lot of our coaches and their family members have gone through this year battling. And so, as you go on the journey, you hope the journey ends the way you want it to and the way you work for it, and sometimes it doesn't. But you always try to remember the journey, what it was about and the lessons you learned through it.
Look at the football side of things, kind of revisit some of the Louisiana Tech game. I feel like we've already kind of hashed through a lot of it. I might bring back a couple of things here that we talked about on Saturday now that you had a couple days to reflect on it. But 28-7 lead in the middle of the third quarter last Saturday at La Tech. Things were looking great. You mentioned this earlier today as well in your press conference. You came out and played really well at the start of the third quarter. That was a point of emphasis. You scored touchdowns on back-to-back drives, really took control of the game. And then Ethan Vasco gets dinged on the two-point conversion try. You didn't know it at the time. You find that out later. And things just kind of snowballed from that point on. It had to be kind of stunning, honestly.
It was. You're as you mentioned, you're 13-7 at halftime. You come out, score, get a stop, score. You're up 28-7, about 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're feeling pretty good. They get a drive on our defense and score, and you could feel maybe a sense of, here we go again. Here's a little momentum they got. And then we get a big run. We're at the 50-yard line, and it looks like we're going to move it right down, and then we get a turnover. And then after that turnover, they went 90-something yards, and they're right back in that football game, another turnover. And so you can't win games turn the ball over, obviously, but we were in control of that game, and that momentum flipped quick. And instead of doing something to quell the momentum, we kept giving it to them. Kept giving them more and more, and they just kept building and building and building. And that's sort of been the story of just the season is when we've got on a roll and done some things, we can't make a play or the right call, whatever it may be, at key times to either keep momentum or stop momentum. You talk about a lot of tape. If you just go back the last 3 weeks, you'd won 3 in a row. You're 4-4. You're 90 seconds away from beating Missouri State. A first down ends that game, or a stop ends that game. Then you're in overtime at FIU. You have a stop ends that game. You have all these different things, and we've just not been able to make it. And this was probably the worst one because you were up. I mean, you play, and your play actually played pretty well, up until that point. And I think that's what hurt that me hurts the most, just because you played pretty well, and then it just went downhill.
You mentioned the last couple of weeks as well, the Missouri State game, the FIU. It seems like there were always critical moments late in the game. The fact that it's kind of been a repetitive or recurring theme the last 3 weeks, how concerned are you with that going into this week, but even going forward beyond this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely, if you're in that situation again this coming week, how you going to respond? Because we've not responded in a good way. I think then you look at it from an overall standpoint. Are we getting tired? Are we getting tired? If we are, why is that? Is that a practice thing? Is that a strength and conditioning thing? Is it some of those things? You look at all those things, right? Like, because you as coaches, it's not like you don't know what your problems are. You do everything you can to fix them, and you feel like you do things to do it, and then obviously something it shows back up, and so there's a lot of things there that we need to look at the way we're practicing, what our strength and condition is, all those different things. If there's a tiredness there, maybe it's not tiredness. Maybe maybe we're not making the plays in certain moments because we're the intensity of practice maybe not what it needs to be, and every moment matters. So there's a lot of things as a coach that we've been thinking through and talking through, and not just the last week. I mean, for a while, you see it. I mean, as a coach, you know it. You see what you're going through, and you're doing everything you can to hopefully prevent it and keep momentum going. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And so, but our guys understand this week, we got to make sure that when somebody makes a play against us, hey, we can't let that defeat us. We got to keep going.
You know the what, it's just figuring out the why. Is that
correct?
Yeah.
You see the. You see how it's not happening. Like I know the how. Hey, how this is it. Okay, now why is it not happening, right? And so this is how it's happening. All right, now we've got to figure out why is it happening. That's the biggest difference. So we look at a lot of different things there, and you're doing everything you can to fix it immediately. And that was the emphasis of third down. Hey, we knew our third quarter. The emphasis, hey, we weren't coming out great third quarter last couple of weeks. So that was the emphasis. So you do things to get ready for that, and you felt okay, it improved, but we didn't finish the whole thing. So that's got to be the thing this week.
I was going to ask you at some point later, but I might as well go ahead and do it now while we're on the topic. Just at what point do you start evaluating where you are now and looking? It sounds like you've already done it, but like, what's to come next year? What changes need to be made? Is it changing practice times or how you practice, or personnel? Personnel's going to change, right? Players are going to leave.
Yeah.
And we got 27 guys graduating.
That's happening.
But when do you really start that process, and what's it going to look like after Saturday?
Well, I mean, I think as a head coach, when things aren't going the way you want them to, I start looking at a lot of that stuff. Hey, what are we not doing, or what are we doing? Not necessarily that you want to change that much, because your players, there's a routine based of that, right? So you don't want to, this or that, but you also, if there's fixes that immediately need to happen, you want to try to do those immediately that you think can help. And so I've been thinking about them for a little while, but we'll, as soon as the season's over, you'll go back through and I've already started jotting down ideas and different things of, hey, these are some things that maybe we need to work on, or maybe need to improve, or see if there's a better way to do it. I've had some of our strength coaches, I want you to look at some other programs, and are they doing something different than we're doing that can help us? So we've already started looking into those things, but because those changes need to take effect immediately in January when you get back, right? So you don't have, there's not a lot of time, but you want to make sure those are happening. And then I got to look at, as a coach, all right, from a practice schedule standpoint, what does that look like? Where's the happy medium to get the things that you need to get done, but also, not having them out there forever. There's different things of that, looking at that, and there's from that standpoint. And then you mentioned personnel. Is there changes on the coaching staff? Typically that can happen. So there, you got to see if that's going to happen. You mentioned the players. So now our 27 seniors plus the how many decide to leave, in the portal wise, and so you're probably looking at bringing in another 35 or 40 new guys,
right.
And so now you got to implement them into it. But, also now there might be, if you're going to do some things differently, then it's new for everybody. So they're all doing that through that together.
Do you reach out to some of your, I don't even know if I've ever asked you who your mentors are, but some of your mentors or people that are in the game, they're people that you're reaching out to saying, hey, you know what? This thing's so different. How are you navigating this, with NIL and the portal?
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I will be doing. And you've talked with some, a little bit while you're trying to figure it out. Now it looks like you've got a all right, this is what it's going to be, right? It's going to be this year. Every year it's changed. It looks like now it's finally going to be one. So now you're hoping that I can, reach out to some people. Hey, what's your thoughts? How you doing some things? And try to make it to where, we don't put ourselves in this position again, because it doesn't feel good. It's not good for anybody, and everybody's frustrated, no more than myself and our coaching staff and our players. They put a lot of time into this, and so everybody needs to be frustrated. That's a great thing about, I think, the university we're at. They care enough to, hey, everybody's frustrated, and they want you to improve. And so we know we need to do that. And, as I told our coaches, do you have wholesale changes? Do you blow it up? I'll go look back and say, hey, we've lost 3 games, 2 in overtime and 1 and the other one where we're in the lead with 90 seconds to go. So is it wholesale changes, or is it little things that we just need to adjust?
Nuances, yeah.
And if you adjust them, are you where you need to be? Because we basically practice the same way we did when we went to Festival. Now we have some different players and different things. You got different dynamic, but we've not like blown everything up. It's very similar, and so it's not like hey, we completely changed things. And so, but we've got to evolve. We got to evolve to make sure that we put ourselves where we can have a chance to win every week.
Well, we'll get to some of the injury stuff later. You've already addressed some of that with Ethan Vasco and Aiden Vaughn, Devin Henderson, some of that stuff. We've talked so much about what went wrong. Let's talk about some of the stuff that went right. How about the shout-out to the players of the week this week? Evan Dickens, as physical as I've probably seen him run the football, maybe you would agree with that. 4th straight 100-yard game against Louisiana Tech. 2nd 200-yard rushing game, had a career-high 228 on the ground, 2 touchdowns on 30 carries. He's rushed for 678 yards in the month of November, and he's now 6th in the country in yards per game. What a year!
Yeah, he's had a tremendous season, and obviously you mentioned the yardage there. He's somebody that's been a good teammate. He wants to win. Frustrated that we're not, but he does everything we can to help us win a game. He's been a great addition for us, when you told me after the post game, you said should we gave him the ball more. I looked at the wrong statistics, and I thought he only had it 15 carries.
Oh,
and I was like,
30.
I was like, yeah, we definitely need to give him the ball more. And then I didn't realize it's 30. But even then, after you could say, hey, we probably should have gave it to him 5 or 10 more times. Get him up around the 40 range. But but he's been tremendous.
Micah Pollard, your defensive player of the week, and wow, what a kid! I mean, Michigan transfer. 53 snaps this past week. That's by far the most he's had in a game this year at linebacker with some of the injuries to various guys. He has 14 tackles, and you look at his PFF grade. I don't know if it's exactly the same way you guys grade it, but 83.2. That was like one of the highest on the team this week.
Yeah, he performed well. He's didn't have a lot of opportunities, just some special teams. Obviously, some injuries have came on, and he's got an opportunity to play, and he's in the last 2 weeks specifically. He's played. Like last week, I think he did some solid stuff, but he was still filling himself out. This week, he played. He had to play, and you could just see his confidence take off, and that's all he's lacking. It's not his ability. It's just the belief in himself, and I think now that he got out there, I mean, he about got us a turnover there on that last drive, and so I mean, if that ball would have bounced another way, or we had somebody closer, we might.
You're already in field goal range.
We might have got that
point,
ball, and so he played well. I was happy for him because it's been a struggle for him, just adjusting, and he hadn't played where he was at, and then he came here and he's trying to figure it out, and then for him to get out there because of injuries and be able to perform, man, that's great confidence for him. His confidence just rises up, and that's confidence with coaches as well. So I'm happy for him.
One more I'll ask you about, and then we'll get to our first break. Christian Bodner, 17 plays on special teams, 64-4 again on the PFF grade. That's the highest of any player last week with that many plays on special teams. We know what he does on defense. He had a couple sacks the week before that, but how much does the special teams part of his game get overlooked?
Yeah, and he's somebody that you mentioned. He plays some nickel and some different things for us, but from a special team standpoint, you don't necessarily think about him, doing some of those things. But he's been very consistent. He went out and obviously played a great game. He's somebody that each week he's on special teams. He'll force a fair catch. You don't necessarily call his name for forcing the fair catch. You'll say, hey, it's a fair catch, but somebody that does that. So he's been a really good special teams player for us.
Well, Coach, we're going to let you go grab a bite to eat. We'll revisit with you here in just a little bit, kind of get into this Kennesaw State matchup a little bit more. And in the meantime, we're going to catch up with a couple seniors. Sound good?
Sounds great.
That's the head coach, Jamey Chadwell, with us. It is the Liberty Flames football show here from Mellow Mushroom, the Cornerstone District of Lynchburg tonight. Come on by. We're here for another 45 minutes or so probably. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll visit with the first of our two senior guests tonight. Tight end Jacob Jenkins will join us when we come back here on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
What's important isn't that Freedom First has been in business since 1956. What's important is how we've been doing business since 1956. Since day one, we have been accountable to our members, not stockholders. We make loans that cost less, offer savings plans that pay more, and give back to our community. And that hasn't changed. What has changed is our ability to serve you with more locations and more technology to simplify your financial life. Freedom First. It's a place where anyone in our region can bank for good.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of the world's best brands and flavors, locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns. Our products are moving, and our trucks are rolling. We share a passion and a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames football show presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
At Carter Bank, we believe life is best lived full of opportunities and dreams, of goals achieved and promises kept. We've been creating opportunities for more people and businesses to prosper since 1974. That means great local lending, convenient access to your money, accounts and guidance that make it easier to get more done. We are Carter Bank, the preferred community bank of Liberty Flames Athletics. Visit carterbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
It's bow time. Carolina legends aren't born. They're handmade, only in Bo's Real Southern Kitchen. It all starts with fresh, never frozen chicken marinated for 24 hours in a flavor-packed blend of bold Southern seasonings. Then we hand bread and fry it to crispy, juicy, mouth-watering perfection. That's not just any chicken, that's the Carolina legend. Order some Bojangles and taste what everyone's been craving since 1977. It's bow time.
Hi, this is Alan York, asking you to join the team as a member of the Flames Club. As a Flames Club member, you can make a difference by directly contributing to the success of Liberty Athletics. The Flames Club's mission is to raise the financial support needed to provide our coaches and student athletes with the resources to compete for championships. Membership levels vary and begin at just $75. Some gifts may even be tax deductible. When you join the Flames Club, you're truly investing in champions and championships. Join today at libertyflamesclub.org.
Back into Mellow Mushroom here in the Cornerstone District of Lynchburg. I'm Nick Pierce filling in for Alan York tonight. It's the Liberty Flames football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. And coming up, we'll hear more from Coach Chadwell as we look ahead to the game this weekend. Liberty and Kennesaw State, 3:30 Eastern kick in Lynchburg. It is senior day. 27 seniors will be recognized before the ball game. And it's also Faculty and Staff Appreciation Day. So $6 tickets for Liberty University faculty and staff. You can still get yours at lufootball.com. Again, 3:30 kick on Saturday here in Lynchburg. Should be good, crisp football weather. And gates open at 2 o'clock. So come on out and join us one last time here in 2025. Pleasure now to be joined by senior tight end Jacob Jenkins. He'll be one of those 27 seniors recognized on the field before the ball game. Now, I got to ask you, I always ask seniors this question. This is it, right? There's no hidden eligibility out there. You're not coming back for like an 8th year or something?
Yeah, no, this is it.
Okay.
6 is long enough for me.
6 years. Third stop along the way in your collegiate career, and you've been at Liberty the longest, so clearly it's gone well for you. Your first game, I think you played in the Fiesta Bowl. Was that right?
Yeah, that was a nice welcome to Liberty game for me. So I got all the reward with none of the work that year. So that was a nice one. That's
not entirely true. You were on scout team probably and doing some things in practice.
Yeah, grunt work.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. And then you get rewarded with the Fiesta Bowl. So, who will walk you out pregame on Saturday?
I'll be escorted by my mom, my dad, Brad and Brooke Jenkins, and then my wife, Garland.
Outstanding. And what has practice been like this week? Because imagine knowing this is the last football game you're going to play. Are you doing pro day? Or are you trying to go that route or?
Undecided as of right now.
Okay. So potentially
we'll
could be the last football game you ever play in.
Yep.
Last time you put the pads on, it's the last week of practice leading up to that. So what has it been like trying to digest all that this week? What has each day of practice been like?
It's just trying to enjoy it and soak it all up. I guess it's kind of a blessing for me knowing this is the last game, and so it's been fun. The guys that we have and their attitude still being excited and enthusiastic about coming to practice and coming to play football has made it a lot more enjoyable, especially with the outcome we've had this season. So it's fun and it's bittersweet. It's a nice chapter, and I've enjoyed being a college football player, but it's also time to maybe move on and start a new chapter. So it's fun, and I'm excited, and I've been enjoying it.
Jacob also caught a touchdown last week in the game at Louisiana Tech. Kind of a difficult catch there. He had to go up for it at the back of the end zone. Second one of the year. Undergrad in business management, MBA with focus on real estate development. How about plans after football? What are you looking to do?
Yeah, man, that's $1 million question right now. But
you got time to figure it out.
Yeah. So me and my wife, we're moving down to Vidalia, Georgia, and we're gonna figure it out as we get down there. We've been blessed with a nice situation we're stepping into, so it'll be fun to start that next chapter. But we'll be sticking around until around January, so it'll be fun to hang out with some buddies for a little while before I make the transition. But yeah.
Your story's pretty well known. There was a feature done on you, I think maybe back during the summer or at some point here by our creative staff over at Flame Central. You're a missionary kid. Your dad was a youth pastor. You visited Dominican Republic back in 2008. I think you were 6 years old then.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
And your parents end up making the decision that this is where we're going to spend some time here. We're going to move down here. We're being called to mission work in the Dominican.
Yeah.
And you and your two siblings were whisked away, and you just really you embraced it, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was nice. I mean, you as a little kid, you don't understand all the weight to that decision and the life change that was about to happen, but you do understand the people and that were there, and you make quick connections and you adjust as quick as a kid. So it made it really enjoyable, and it's been a big part of my life and how I've grown up, just reflecting on that and the things I've seen and the lessons I've learned through that journey.
Flame senior tight end Jacob Jenkins with us here. A couple pieces of that package that I kind of got a kick out of was, one, you were up like doing your schoolwork immediately in the mornings to get it all done so you could go help Dad throughout the day. You wanted to be out in the mission field doing the dirty work, so to speak, 100%. Right?
Yeah, I loved it. It was like when teams come in, it was just a burst of energy through a little 8-year-old boy. So, I would wake my mom up, get everyone up, and so I could knock out my homework, get it approved, and get out of the house and go have some fun, running around, playing sports with other little kids and just hanging out.
I was going to say, what are some of the memories that you still hold from that? The church services or the people or some of the building projects? I don't know. What do you take with you?
Just a little bit of everything. It's just like football. You don't remember the wins and losses, and over there you don't remember all the events necessarily, but you do remember a lot of the relationship and the connections you make while you're over there, especially the ones that we still have and still get to enjoy being a part in a relationship with people over there. And I mean, one of the best things and core memory that I can just picture every time I think about it is when you're just in church and the people that you're surrounded with may not have nothing and no way to feed their family or no idea what the next meal looks like or where they're going to shower that night or anything like that. So, and they're just in church with a smile on their face and praising the Lord. That's one of the coolest things you can experience, especially as a young kid.
Jenkins Family Ministry is called Until They Know. It's building sustainable communities in the Dominican. And then, the other piece of that I kind of enjoyed too was your mom said about the time you were getting into football, you and your brother were really getting into football, you didn't have any equipment down there. You didn't have any really means to play the game. So your mom flies to Orlando to buy football gear for you and your brother because it was cheaper than having it shipped to the island. Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was quite an experience.
How about that commitment?
Yeah, I know. She's a real one. I guess she gets all the credit. So, it's been it was fun, and those videos we still look back on of us just doing bull in the ring together, just me and him over and over and over again. But it's good time, and that's core football memory for me, especially where it all started. And I guess learning how to be pretty physical, hitting my older brother. So it was fun.
Flames senior tight end Jacob Jenkins with us here. How much are you still involved in that missionary work? And then, what's kind of on your heart at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I try and make a trip every other year or during spring break whenever I can. With being a student athlete, that gets hard. But now that chapter's coming to a close, I'm excited to get pretty heavily involved in helping my dad, and especially with my now business degree and stuff like that. How can you focus on improving a nonprofit and getting Until They Know out there to more people, and helping grow the ministry here in the States to help overseas in Dominican. So that's kind of my goal and what I'm looking forward to doing as I step into this next part of life.
Jacob, we talked earlier this year too about some performance anxiety issues that you worked through early in your career. You were at Jacksonville State for a year, then you went to Coastal Carolina, where then you became acquainted with Coach Chadwell and his staff, and you really credited them for helping you work through a lot of that.
Yeah, they were a big part in it. Once I quit football together at Jacksonville State, and just went to my brother's D2 spring game and realized, I do still like football, and I still want to play football. So I took a risk, jumped in the portal, and when I got to Coastal, I experienced some of the similar things going on that had happened at JSU, and I took a step that I never took before, and that was going to talk to Coach Chadwell and Coach Dutt about that. And they were great in reassuring me who I am and that this is just a game, and it was a reminder that I needed to hear coming from a coach. It's different coming from your parents, but when it comes from the coach, that they care about the person more than the game, kind of thing.
Your parents have to love you, right?
yeah, right.
But then to hear from a coach, it really showed you something.
Yeah, it was a big hurdle that I got over when they did that, and I was able to play the best season I ever played in college up until that point, and I think that was a big part of that. So it was a battle, and God led me through that, and it's just knowing my worth is not relied on a game, and that's a blessing and a privilege. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure folks love to hear that. It's a great story. I mean, all of that. I mean, you've got a whole lot of depth for someone at your age. It doesn't come around all the time. I think it's cool that Flames Nation gets to know that about you. Appreciate your transparency because they know who they're cheering for out there on the field. It's not just a guy in a helmet. There's a story here.
There's an ugly face under that helmet.
No. Let's talk a little football here. Rough few weeks. How determined is this group to finish strong on Saturday, though? Yeah,
I mean, I think that's the name of the game. And Coach Chadwell's been talking about a lot this week is about relying back on your purpose. Why do you play football? Who you do it for? So that's a challenge. And, I mean, you're either going to step up to it as players or you're not. So, like I said earlier, I mentioned the locker room's great. Like the guys we have in there, they're not tapped out and they're excited and they still want to play ball. So, that helps, and the goal is to win a game. And as bad as this season may have gone, you can still send the seniors and the rest of us off with a good win and maybe a boost to next year in this offseason.
What are you going to remember most about your time at Liberty specifically? What your Liberty experience?
Yeah, I would definitely say just the people. It's rare. I've been to 2 other colleges before this, and this locker room and the group of guys and the coaching staff that we have here is just rare. It's a lot of relationship building and more intentional with your relationships than a lot of other places in college football. So it's definitely a privilege. And, I made a lot of friends. I met my wife, and they're people I'm going to have around for the rest of my life.
Well, you'll have some time here in the Christmas time here. I know Austin Henderson's got his own business, and some of that's he's putting up Christmas lights. You going to be helping him out maybe? Or
I don't know. I may be a little too clumsy to be climbing up on houses. But
hey, know your limitations. That's what right. I always say. Hey, Jacob, appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Look forward to watching you give it one last go coming up here on Saturday.
Yeah, there you go. Appreciate you.
Flames tight end Jacob Jenkins with us here on the Liberty Flames Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. We'll hear from Coach Chadwell coming up here again in just a little bit. But we'll take our next break. When we come back here to Mellow Mushroom in Lynchburg, we'll be joined by another senior, safety Corey Jones. We'll put the headset on. We'll get to know Corey a little bit more as he gets ready for Senior Day on Saturday. Liberty and Kennesaw State this Saturday, 3:30 Eastern in Lynchburg. Look forward to seeing you out at Williams Stadium. We're back to the show here in a moment.
Turn up the heat Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Fostering warm moments for 100 years, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services throughout Central Virginia and surrounding areas. From propane to fireplaces and tank installs to tankless water heaters, Foster does it all. Visit fosterfuels.com or download the app to order fuel, pay your bill, and more. Get the customer service you deserve and turn up the heat with Foster Fuels and the Liberty Flames.
It's the season of giving, and Lynchburg Nissan is giving you more than ever. Get $10,000 off MSRP on select models or 0% financing for up to 60 months. Drive home a brand new car starting under $18,000 and get 130% of fair KBB value for your trade. Plus, you'll receive 1 million miles of coverage at no cost. But hurry, inventory is limited. Visit lynchburgnissan.com or stop by today. Lynchburg Nissan, home of the million-mile warranty.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Your certified Generac backup generator experts. Online at callrogers.com.
The light from a star can take millions of years to reach Earth. So when you look at a star, you're looking back in time. But I see the future. I see exploration and courage. I see my country finding new horizons out there. And I see giant leaps making a comeback. I see myself. The future is where I'll make history.
This message is brought to you by the United States Space Force. More information is available at spaceforce.mil.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 35 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding Medicare, retirement planning, life insurance, the healthcare marketplace, and group insurance benefits. Call Thompson Brooks Insurance at 434-385-8500. That's 434-385-8500, or visit them online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Have you downloaded the Liberty Flames mobile app? If not, what are you waiting for? The Liberty Flames mobile app is your lifeline to Flames athletics. Get the latest news on your favorite teams, find upcoming schedules, buy and download tickets to the next game, listen to podcasts, and hear our online Liberty Flames Sports Network audio broadcasts.
Pass caught into the end zone. Light 'em up. Touchdown, Liberty.
It's all on the Liberty Flames mobile app. Download it for free from your mobile app store today.
Back inside Mellow Mushroom here in Lynchburg. I'm Nick Pierce with you on the Liberty Flames Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. Coach Chadwell will return here in just a few minutes. We'll get a look at the upcoming game on Saturday, Liberty and Kennesaw State, 3:30 in Lynchburg at Williams Stadium. Last game of the year for the Flames. They try to go out on a winning note and potential to wreck the Owls' hopes of competing for a Conference USA championship. Maybe a little spoiler role for the Flames, and more importantly, trying to send their 27 seniors off on a winning note. Joined by one of those seniors now, Corey Jones. Man, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Let me put this mic a little closer there, like that. All right, I think we can hear you. Well, I want to make sure the folks can hear you. So, appreciate you coming out. 4 tackles last week in the game at Louisiana Tech, at a TFL and a PBU as well. I know that had to be heartbreaking, the result there, but how have you guys been able to turn the page here over the last couple of days and move forward?
Yeah, we know we still got another opportunity to go out and be better. Our best game still ahead of us. We got a chance to play a quality opponent, and we got to go out there and do what we got to do.
We were talking in the break a little bit, Corey. You're in rare air. You're a guy that has played 4 seasons of college football in 4 years. You're going to graduate and you're done.
Right.
You know how rare that is these days?
Yeah, man, it's pretty rare.
Do you feel shortchanged? Do you feel like you ought to have another year or two somewhere out there?
Nah, I feel like I maximized my opportunity here. I'm proud of myself for what I've done here.
Well, you should be. I mean, you came out in 2022. The previous coaching staff, I think you said you sat the first 2 games and you played pretty much ever since then. I think it was 11 games as a freshman. Not a lot of guys get to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you went out there and you earned a spot right away.
Yep. Yeah, it took a lot of hard work. I came in the summer. You know, a lot of guys come in early enrollees, so they're there for the spring time. So they had a little head start on me, but I was able to learn the defense pretty quickly, and the coaches trusted me, and I went out there and made plays.
You're from Macon, Georgia. Who will be escorting you out on Saturday, first of all?
I got my mom and my dad down, but my brother will probably walk out with me too, and I got a whole heap of family coming with me. So,
you think you'll be a little emotional going out there, or are you an emotional person?
I probably will be, honestly.
Yeah.
I was today in practice just stretching. I'm like, this is one of the last stretches I have, you know. So
right.
We'll see once the game comes.
A lot of guys kind of frown on practice. I got to go to practice today. Probably this week it's more like I get to go to practice again, right?
Definitely an opportunity. You got to maximize the opportunity.
You talk about being from Macon and growing up and playing, high school football down there. You had a ton of offers coming out of high school. You also played baseball, right?
Yeah, baseball and basketball. Ran a little track too.
I was this multi-sport athlete. What are your earliest memories of football? As you start to kind of bring things full circle here, I don't know, you might be doing pro day too. I don't know. You might try to go play at the next level. But this could be the last game you play in competitively. What are your earliest memories of the game, just to kind of bring it full circle?
It's funny because, right now, we'll be doing the Turkey Bowl with some of the all-star teams down at the City League. And that's some of my earliest memories, winning the Turkey Bowl down at Central City Park. I started playing at 6. I remember all my coaches, all my teams, a lot of my teammates, and since then, I just had my relationships grow with those people, and it's just been fun.
We had a Turkey Bowl at my house when I was growing up, but it wasn't. Probably wasn't anything like what you played at. Somebody was out there as the all-time quarterback, and somebody usually ended up with a bum leg by the end of the thing. But no, that's awesome. I love getting people's backstories on when they fell in love with a game. For you, this is going to be your 47th and final college football game again on Saturday. We talked about practice a little bit. I was reading through some of your bio, your most memorable moments here. You mentioned the Conference USA title win in 23, and you mentioned the win over Arkansas on the road in 22. Those were a couple pretty big moments. Are those still the ones that stand out the most to you?
Probably so, yeah. Especially that Arkansas win. You got to remember, I was a freshman, so that atmosphere was just crazy. We playing, I think it was their homecoming game, so it was 60, 70 plus out in the stands, and I remember going out for kickoff, the first kickoff of the game, I just looked and I'm like, whoa. And it's just it was kind of overwhelming, but it was fun.
That's what you signed up for, right?
Definitely.
To be in Fayetteville, Arkansas, they're calling out the Hogs. You remember the chant they were doing? Yeah. And then,
Big Suey,
yeah. And you're right there in the middle of it. You guys jumped out to a 21-0 lead in that game, and then you had to hold on there at the end. The defense had to get a stop there at the end.
Definitely.
The CUSA title win. I mean, what really stands out most about that one?
It's just to win the championship period in college football is a great accomplishment. So just being able to do that first year with the coaching staff, my sophomore year, first year in the conference, it was undefeated season. It was all just a great achievement.
Flame safety Corey Jones with us here. As I mentioned, lots of offers coming out of Mount DeSales Academy in high school, some Power Fours. We talked about the multiple sports you played there. You stayed focused on football. Why Liberty, though? What made Liberty home for you?
I came up to Liberty on a couple of visits, one unofficial and one official, and it felt like I needed to be here. As soon as I came, the air that I breathed here, it was just different. I just felt like I needed to be here at Liberty. The coaches, when I first got here, they were great. When the transition happened, the coaches stayed great, and I knew I needed to stay here. Everything was good. Everything felt like I would be able to grow here. So I'm glad I came here. I'm glad I stayed here for all 4 years too.
Yeah, not a lot of guys do that now. I think you would go through the coaching change too. I mean, what was really a connecting point for you with the new coaching staff?
It was still Liberty at the end of the day. So even with the coaches changing, I still fell in love with the place.
Corey Jones with us here on the Liberty Flames football show tonight with head coach Jamey Chadwell. What's your Liberty experience been like outside of football? Just going to class every day, being on campus, or you're probably online, right?
Now I am, yes.
Yeah, but you did the on-campus, the actual in-person
I
class.
actually like in-person classes better.
I could see that.
The online classes, they tend to pile up on me a little bit.
They keep you on an honest schedule, right?
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about plans after school. You're a business administration major. Just celebrated a birthday, too, by the way. Happy birthday, November 9th.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Get to see your family there?
No, not on
cool?
my birthday, nah.
No? Okay. Well, you see them here coming up.
Right.
What are your plans after LU? Pro day? Jumping right into a career? What do you see yourself doing?
Yeah, I'll do a pro day. I'm going to start training probably as soon as the season is over. Going into December, maybe January, starting January around that time, just to see what's out there for me.
Well, let's talk a little football here. I know it's got to be tough without the last few weeks have been kind of tough, but without Joseph Carter out there dealing with some of the injuries on your side of the ball, how have you guys banded together and just tried to keep pressing forward?
We miss Joe out there, man. He did a lot for us, but we know his next man up. He understands that too. He's still on our side behind us whenever we're doing something, so that's a great thing. But even with some of the newer guys like that been coming in, the younger guys that been coming in making plays, we get excited for them just because like they didn't even expect to be playing in some of these situations, and there's still some vets in the back end, so we keep everybody in check back there. So it's still good either way it goes.
Yeah, it was tough losing Devin Anderson this past week. He's a young guy, but I mean he's been out there for so much. How special is he going to be?
Yeah, he good. that's my boy. Yeah, Dev a real good player. I can see him making a lot of plays in the future.
Looking forward to watching him facing this Kennesaw State team. Tough offense, big play offense. Amari Odom, the quarterback, huge game this past weekend. What makes him such a threat?
He's a threat with both his arm and his legs. He can run it, he can throw it. So we'll have to see how good he can throw it because we're going to have to contain him with the running.
Yeah, is it trying to – you want to keep him in the pocket, but he can beat you from the pocket too, right? I mean, he threw for almost 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Is it about trying to get him off his spot a little bit too?
Maybe a little, but I got faith in our back end. We'll get some of those balls down.
Yeah, that's the thing. He throws it a lot. You're going to have more chances to come down with some balls, right?
Definitely.
Corey, we thank you so much for stopping by. Appreciate you sharing a little bit of your story, your time at Liberty. It's been a pleasure to watch you. Go have fun on Saturday. That's all I can tell you. Just go have fun.
I will.
Flame safety, Corey Jones with us here on the Liberty Flames football show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. We'll take our next break. When we come back here, we will visit with the head coach once again. He'll be back to talk a little bit about the game coming up here this Saturday, Liberty and Kennesaw State, 3:30 kickoff in Lynchburg, and we'll have that conversation coming up next.
Turn up the heat. Foster Fuels is a proud partner of Liberty Athletics. Foster has been fostering warm moments for 100 years. Headquartered in Brookneal, Virginia, Foster has been providing exceptional propane and gas services since 1921. Stop by one of our 6 showroom locations across Central Virginia to view our wide range of products. From propane to fireplaces and grills to tank installs and tankless water heaters, Foster has it all. Download our app or visit fosterfuels.com for more info.
It's the season of giving, and Lynchburg Nissan is giving you more than ever. Get $10,000 off MSRP on select models or 0% financing for up to 60 months. Drive home a brand new car starting under $18,000 and get 130% of fair KBB value for your trade. Plus, you'll receive 1 million miles of coverage at no cost. But hurry, inventory is limited. Visit lynchburgnissan.com or stop by today. Lynchburg Nissan, home of the 1,000,000-mile warranty.
You're listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.
Rogers Heating, Cooling, Electrical, and Plumbing. Your local HVAC experts. Online at callrogers.com.
The light from a star can take millions of years to reach Earth. So when you look at a star, you're looking back in time. But I see the future. I see exploration and courage. I see my country finding new horizons out there. And I see giant leaps making a comeback. I see myself. The future is where I'll make history.
This message is brought to you by the United States Space Force. More information is available at spaceforce.mil.
Thompson Brooks Insurance has been serving Virginia for over 35 years, helping individuals and businesses with their insurance and investment needs. The team at Thompson Brooks is experienced in understanding Medicare, retirement planning, life insurance, the healthcare marketplace, and group insurance benefits. Call Thompson Brooks Insurance at 434-385-8500. That's 434-385-8500, or visit them online at thompsonbrooksinsurance.com. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow.
Have you downloaded the Liberty Flames mobile app? If not, what are you waiting for? The Liberty Flames mobile app is your lifeline to Flames athletics. Get the latest news on your favorite teams, find upcoming schedules, buy and download tickets to the next game, listen to podcasts, and hear our online Liberty Flames Sports Network audio broadcasts.
Pass caught into the end zone. Light 'em up. Touchdown, Liberty.
It's all on the Liberty Flames mobile app. Download it for free from your mobile app store today.
And welcome back into our final segment here at Mellow Mushroom. Tonight it's the Liberty Flames Football Show with head coach Jamey Chadwell. I'm Nick Pierce filling in for Alan York. He is on assignment with the Liberty men's basketball team down at Disney World. Poor guy. Flames lost to Towson today, 72-69. They're now 1-1 in that MTE down there. They will play either Bradley or UC San Diego tomorrow afternoon at 2:30. And actually, looking at the updated number, I guess it's going to be Bradley tomorrow, 87-77, the final. UC San Diego won that game. So Liberty and Bradley tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 Eastern, 2 o'clock airtime on the Liberty Flames mobile app. AY will have the call for you tomorrow with Liberty Men's Hoops. Of course, Flames football this Saturday, taking on Kennesaw State. We're rejoined now by the head coach, Coach Chadwell, to talk a little bit more about that game here in just a moment. But first, just have you kind of speak to those two young men that were up here with us tonight, Jacob Jenkins and Corey Jones, a couple guys that chose to be here and have been here multiple years, and they're getting their degrees, or I guess Jacob already has his undergrad, from Liberty, and they are playing out their career here on Saturday. That's special.
It is. You know, you mentioned we got 27 of them. Some of them been here. Some of them been here 3 years. Some have been 4. Some have been 5. And then obviously some in between, but those two are one. They're good young people. They're great representatives of this university of our program. They'll go out and they'll be successful whenever football's done with them. Obviously tomorrow or Saturday's the last official college game. Hopefully they can have a chance if they want to keep playing. They got a chance to do that. But I think the character, who they are, and what they've given to the university is worthwhile, and they've. What they've learned here, I'm 100% confident they're going to go out and they're going to impact whoever they're around the rest of their lives in a positive way.
Yeah, it sure sounds that way just talking to them. We said we'd circle back to some of the injuries we talked about earlier, and I asked you something earlier today too during your media availability, if you would try to assess some younger players, and said, sure, if it helps us win the game. I mean, you guys are focused on winning the game coming up here on Saturday, and that's first and foremost probably for just those seniors, like what we just talked about, right? You want to send those guys out.
Yeah, you want to win, and so it'd be a disservice to our 27 seniors if we said, hey, we're going to play some young guys and just figure it out, and let them.
Right.
And so we're going to play to win, And if there's a young guy or somebody that hadn't played as much, and if they can help us, then we're definitely going to play them. And so we got to do a good job of identifying the guys that do a great job, for us. But whoever it is, we want to win the game, and so that's the number one goal. We got to find a way to win it, and so that's what we're shooting for.
You mentioned Devin Henderson and Aiden Vaughn are going to be out here this week. Ethan Vasco, kind of day to day. How did he look today in practice?
It didn't do much. He was there. He was obviously observing, making sure that he's up on the game plan, and so we'll see how it goes the rest of the week, if he can go or not. We've been in the situation, unfortunately, before where it's been one of those, he's had to maybe miss some practices, and hopefully by the end of the week he's gotten better. We'll see how that goes, and so that'll be a day-to-day, and hopefully we'll know something more by Thanksgiving. That's a couple days, and by that Thursday practice, hopefully we'll have an idea what's happening.
Well, you mentioned Thanksgiving. Before we get into Kennesaw State, what does that day look like for your team?
We typically practice in the morning, so we'll practice and do meetings and practice in the morning. Then after practice, we'll have a team Thanksgiving lunch there on campus, and then we'll give them the rest of the afternoon off. Some of the guys that maybe not on the travel squad, they might have a chance to go home or go visit some family, and then some of the players will, whether their family's up or whether they maybe go to coaches' houses or something of that nature, and then let them enjoy that day. And then Friday, you're back at it.
Yeah, right back at it for a really good Kennesaw State team. This is a team that was in first place until just a couple weeks ago that lost to Jacksonville State. New head coach this year, Jerry Mack, was the running backs coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars last year, then spent 3 years before that on staff at Tennessee with Josh Heupel. Mitch Militello, their offensive coordinator, he was a quarterbacks coach at Tennessee, and then defensive coordinator Mark Mattioli was a head coach actually in the European League for the last 2 years, and prior to that was on staff at Vanderbilt and Stanford. Those guys, how much familiarity do you have with them and their styles, and how much have you been able to glean from watching the tape of Kennesaw State?
Yeah, I don't know. None of those guys personally. I've obviously met Coach Mack, but obviously they came in and I think they inherited some good pieces from the previous staff, and then they brought in some good pieces and flipped it. Their quarterbacks, in this league, if your quarterback playing really well, you got a chance to win, and their quarterbacks has played pretty well, and I think what they've done a good job of is if there's been opportunities when their offense is maybe, especially early in the season, offense was a little struggling, a little stagnant, their defense kept them in games, and then now where they're at, they're playing with much confidence. If their defense doesn't play as well, they feel like their offense is going to be able to score enough points, and so they're playing really with confidence in all phases, and so they play really fast on offense. If you're, Tennessee, if you know anything about them, they're going to try to snap it as fast as you can, and so we got to do a good job of being ready for that and not giving up big plays by not being aligned and make them earn it. And then defensively, they do a nice job. They get some tackles for loss. They can pressure the quarterback, but they try not to give up big plays. You're going to have to really earn it on them, and so that fits their offense there from that standpoint. And so they're a good team. I can see why they're where they're at, because their quarterbacks played at a good level, and I think they've not beat themselves by turnovers and some of those things. So it'd be a big challenge for us.
You talked earlier about the aggressiveness on the defensive side, tied for 35th in the country in sacks. They got 26 of them this year. They'll tee off on you a little bit. Dunlap, I think number 5, the defensive end, he's got 5 sacks this year. Is he one of the guys that you have starred going into this weekend?
Yeah, he's good. You're going to have to know where he's at on those third downs specifically. We're going to have to do a good job of whether it's chipping, whether that's double teaming, some of those things. We got to have a good idea there. They rotate a decent amount of guys, and so we've got to do a good job with that. I think where just anything, they're playing with such a high confidence that they're going to come here because if they win, I think they're in the conference championship game, right? And so that's huge for them.
A win would put them in, and then I think they could still get in with a loss, but they need some help at that point.
And so they're your first year coach like we were a couple years ago. I mean, that's a big deal if you can get into that opportunity. And so they're going to be coming up with a lot of confidence and playing well. And so but we have to do a good job of not giving them extra opportunities offensively by turning it over. So if we have to punt, we punt. Let's end every drive with a kick, and then defensively keep them in front of you. Hey, if you beat us by moving the ball down the field, all right, so be it. But we're not going to let you throw one over our heads and this and that and just get big plays on us, and that's where we got to be smart.
With Odom, going back to him on the offensive side, 387 yards passing last week against Missouri State, 5 touchdowns. He ran for another. Didn't have a lot of rushing yards, but Corey was talking about it. He's dual threat. He can hurt you with both. Is it wise to keep him in the pocket? Do you need to be able to get him off his spot a little bit, or is he making plays with his arm on the run?
I think you got to try to get him off his spot. You want to be able, he gets out of the pocket and he can run and he's pretty good. He's not as accurate when he's outside the pocket, so you want to move him off his platform, so to speak, but not give him a great run lane, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the challenge is you got to pressure him and not let him be able to throw that first read right away, and then make him adjust a little bit. That's when he's had some of his challenges, and so and we have to do a good job of that and trying to mix and match and disguise a little bit and do some of that. Jacksonville State beat them. That's what they did a lot of. They ended up having, I think, 4 turnovers in that game. They had 3 of them inside the red zone, and 2 of them in the end zone. And so you got to be able to make them earn those drives, and if not, they can find big ways. And so he played some early on. They had another quarterback.
Yep, Dexter Williams.
And then I think that he's come on and been their guy, especially the last couple weeks, and where they I think we'll see both potentially, but he's been their guy that's playing at the most consistent.
Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Thank you so much for the scouting report, the insight. Thank you for doing this all year. It's hopefully it's a pleasure coming out here for you like it is for us. I'm just pinch hitting for Alan York here tonight, but he's done a great job all year.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much absolutely. Thank you so much for your time all year long, and we're looking forward to watching it on Saturday.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Flames.
Flames. That's the head coach, Jamey Chadwell. Liberty and Kennesaw State coming up this Saturday, 3:30 in Lynchburg at Williams Stadium. Senior Day, pregame ceremony for the 27 seniors for the Flames, and then also faculty and staff appreciation day as well. Tickets just $6. Come on out. Work off a little bit of that Thanksgiving turkey. Walk around the stadium. Watch a game here on Saturday, and hopefully send the Flames out with a victory. Appreciate the staff and management here at Mellow Mushroom all season long. Thank you for your hospitality. The food is tremendous. Thank you so much. Look forward to continuing this partnership. Thank you to Cody Whitman, our engineer, Jamie Hall, who is not here tonight but has been here throughout much of the season with the video component of our broadcast, and then again Alan York for doing a tremendous job all season long. For the coach, for the players, I'm Nick Pierce. Thank you so much for coming out. We'll talk to you on Saturday from Williams Stadium in Lynchburg. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to the Liberty Flames Football Show on the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner. The Liberty Football Show was presented by Freedom First Credit Union. Start banking with Freedom First today. The Liberty Football Show was also brought to you by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's Bo time. Carter Bank. Life lived full. Coca-Cola. Taste the feeling. By Foster Fuels, providing reliable service for 100 years. Lynchburg Nissan, nobody beats our prices, nobody. Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Thompson Brooks Insurance, planning today for tomorrow. And by the United States Space Force. The Liberty Flames Football Show, presented by Freedom First Credit Union, has been an exclusive presentation of the Liberty Flames Sports Network from Van Wagner.